Fire, fire, fire. Big up Tona this morning. What we hard to for SMAP first, you know. Oh, they start the session early morning. What the fire you hard to for SMAP. Fire, fire, fire. You know? Wake up early morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. And wake una first up. Some of una, we need for alapa una. Una wake up, wake up, wake up. Drain me the early morning coffee. Big up to Africa. Starting with the stats today with Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, you know, Ivory Coast, Darfur, you know, Chad, you know, Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, you know, all side. A massive ball, Cameroon, we massive. Big up to now. So man don't left with them Ghana. But we okay Saudi. As long as we true to ourselves, we okay with Saudi. PPP don't begin to confess. Okay, 1 year then cost me for this. 1 year would they preach the truth. 1 year, one man SMAP because he believe in what he talk. Sometimes when you believe in something positive, una no need for biboku. It can just be one or two. Then you get so many infidels there. But at the end of the day, 1 year, today, now testimony I go to give. When I allow this sit down, allow this sit down. You know, we're going to give you testimonies then small. We'll get important topics then for tackle this morning. I just want to rub that now on our face. You know, big up to where they join Charles Mo this morning. Early morning coffee. When I say I wake up fine. I prepare myself. For that you succeed in life, you must prepare. If you not prepare, you're not going to succeed. Big up to that. You must prepare. So I make this week early morning session, we will start with quotations still. You know? Don't pull the glasses. The boy too bad. Good morning, Tona. You know, the face of Salone, the face of the green, white, and blue, and the face of the people. You got to believe in that statement, say what Tasmo just make. This face here, now the face of Salone. Now the representation is of Africa. Now the face of the green, white, and blue. Now the face of every tribe where you see in Salone. Because me, you're not going to see me, you classify me. You're not going to know who I belong. When you see me, you go think, say first, me not Timini, me not Fula, me not Limba, me not Mende, or whatsoever. You know, at the outside. At the face of Salone. You know, big up to that. How one starts this again? And before I give you my quotation step, you know, I believe so for preach the gospel. 1 year, because this is very relevant or important to Tasmo. 1 year that they cost me for this cause here. 1 year people and they threaten me life for this cause here. 1 year because once this alone move go before. We don't want war. We don't want problem. 1 year they talk against Adabayo, or 2 years. 2 years they talk against Adabayo. And within 1 year they come up with this PPP there. Now finally, we see what's in the chairman just state. And what's in the chairman talk? I feel I know say, when I making points finger per Tasmo, say Tasmo please they look for attention. But when I hear now what's in the chairman of PPP say, would I really they look for attention? Now Adabayo. Would I really they look for importance? One become important. Adabayo. Yes, I the chairman caller. He said that body they look for, you know, a status. Now Bobo caller. He not call himself a name. He said that Bobo, that means Adibayo or Adabayo. That Bobo, where they pay big fool. Because people don't want to see Salon go bien. And we don't need to preach. And I hope see them preaching that I don't see on people that is and people that don't understand. Who say would they try for head? If we lost another 5 years, we're not going to die. But we're not going to go backwards. You know? We're not going to go backwards. We don't lose so many lives them, especially my brothers there inside Bombali district here, Makenia. You know? One of a young soul, a potential Samson, we lose him. Based on PPP. Adabayo, your responsibility. I don't rub this now your face. One day you go feel guilty for what you don't commit. You know? Big up to that once more. When I get one blast, me then blast. We used to. You know, we used to. Even though we never see blast, so we don't talk no more. You know, we used to. When you positive, you focus. You know, the divine, they incite you positively. Continue for match, yeah? And let's say if now you grave the match go, continue for match. Because you try to save so many souls them. One life not so important than thousands of souls them. You know, if I ever sacrifice myself like Christ for thousands of souls them for, you know, prosper inside salon, we go do it. Not super big fool. We go do it. But we never become arrogant or go on the streets, they act stupid. But we go preach the gospel. Big up to that. Big up to that. Anyway, let's start with quotations then this morning. You know? Some wise words to them. Wise words to them. This is now a top Chinese philosopher of philosophy, you know, and quotes them. What they can quote to now? Just few. They will start the episode, you know? Start them proper. Because we need to inspire the youth them. So man, you know you wake up. You need for hearing something positive for start in the world. Something for motivator. You know? Something for inspirer. Now that's make we do what we do. If we don't get to that inspire we, you know what I mean? So we're not for inspire the next person. You know? Inspiration don't mean say you for be inspired though. Even if they not inspire you, you get that willingness there for inspire. Don't be inspired, yeah? We got so many aspirations there for inspire. You know? So now we start on the first quotation. Now they give at least 6. We'll make this quick. Say, wherever you go, go with all your heart. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. La put on up a Creole. Wherever you go, now for go there with all your heart. Or anything self now what you they do. I just the add na me you. Do it with all your heart. Now that's gonna make you succeed. Now that's gonna give you peace. If your heart's not there, if you're not sure, now put on it. Not good. Now let me continue to the second one. The 3 methods we may learn wisdom. The 3 methods them we for able to learn what we call wisdom. The first one now reflection. What's in the state about reflection? Then me say go give you my own. Say which is the noblest. That means maybe you sincere with yourself. If you wrong, you go reflect and you realize, say, I be wrong. If you be right, you go reflect, say, I be right. You know? But your reflections then go lead you to wisdom. Your imitations them, where they imitate somebody, where they do good. Positively good. And are the most easiest one this. You know, for imitate. For imitate positive or negative. But Lord, we hope for positive. Imitation will lead you to wisdom. The third one I experience. You know, it's not the best teacher. I don't need teach Charles Musu. Experience. You know, and at the bitterest power. Now the hardest power. Experience. So for let you obtain what we call wisdom, you for the face or the experience what we call reflection, imitation, and experience. Now let me go to the third one. They say our greatest glory is not in never falling. Listen to this carefully. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Your greatest glory. Not to that man where they talk, say, me, I don't want to follow it too. Or me, I don't want to suffer. Or me, I don't want to go through this kind of struggle it too. Or me, I don't want to experience this too. You know? Not to your greatest glory that. They say your greatest glory, now you where they fall down and grab. Now you know the greatest glory. You will be glorified. Because someone don't want to experience what you experience. When you fall down, you're not going to ever grab. But any impossible way you fall down and grab, fall down and grab, fall down and grab, you're bound for succeed. And you will be glorified. You know? So remember that you fall today, you grab tomorrow, it not make you a failure. It just give you what we call experience for obtain wisdom. Now we continue to the fourth one. They say choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. I repeat this again once more. Choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. So anything what you do, what you like for do, not to work. Don't just make it simple so. Like this not a job for Tasmo. But since I love what they do, and then the money I mean, not to work. So any work where you depart, make sure say you act the day. Make sure say you love it. Now that's going to make you get a good experience. Now let me go to the fifth one. Almost there. They say everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Maybe Bangatik will plant so someone will look at that Bangatik. He said this, nasty. But so other person will collect the Bangatik. Say now find Bangatik. So what I want to try for say now, in your worst situation, there's beauty in it, there's divine in it. But you struggle. Or what you express here, you wake up and you grumpy. That grumpy way you grumpy. There's beauty in it to the God's step. Because then don't put you on side they want you for capture your soul. You're going to feel bitter. But to the God's step, as long as you don't commit sin, you still try to be positive. How you frown, till you frown, it's beautiful to the God's step. Because you try to align with them. And the best way for explain this, you try to align with the God's step. So remember that. Everything has beauty. Even you struggle, even you sufferness, you get beauty. Even when you die, there's beauty in it. The moment of death, there's beauty in it. Now let me continue to the last one. Your full potential are the keys that will unlock detailed personal excellence. Your full potential are the keys that will unlock it to your personal excellence. Let's simplify that. Your full potential, you put all your effort, you put all your energy, you put all your smartness, you put all your thing for let this thing come off fine. Now that's going to lead to you personal excellence. Excellence, being good at what you do. Excellence, being a professional. Excellence, so you best of your potential, you don't become the best. But if I come at the media every day, I say, that can give them people they are just small thing. I know they work too hard. Not to me full potential at the Guna Su. I'm not going to ever reach to me potential. Why give una small? That small one back go give me. Or my views are not going to be too much. Or I'm not going to expand as much. Because I need to put effort in what they do. But as long as they put 250% every day, we must expand to be full potential. Or to be excellence. To be best. Now let me continue. On to the next. Let's start with episode step. Then quotations there. Now for inspire you this morning. Now Friday. I mean say if you go lucky yourself now. I mean say if you get a small thing for go, go check you kill yourself. And you go do the worst. Comport yourself. Now, we discuss small. This is not important news for person can say. Then we get things that we can contextualize for fitting salon as well. Iran and Afghanistan. Another conflict. We just don't start. Iran and Afghanistan. I talked of Iran yesterday. I know be no CFC. Palava don't start to with Afghanistan. Palava don't start bing. Now other word they cancel back. Another area there. Now we continue. And this issue here between the Iranian stem and Afghanistan, the thing where we go, the thing say, come on, now they can't fetch for so. Water. Now water they can't fetch for so. Water where in location, now one of the rivers, the normal where they contain water, now then two locations there, or then two areas there. Let me see now like a dam, and this dam are all two for suppose for share. Because, you know, the place, the land, water no dey, you know. So I guess during the dry season, this spot here outside this water, they are the only location where we're able to supply water to certain geographical areas them for people and for able to survive. You know? So Afghanistan, then they're in control of this water here, or this river here. They're now sharing with Iran. Now Iran, they're in need of water. They're in need of water. Then two countries there, no one they get conflict per se. You know, any major conflict. This could be the first major dispute. The first major dispute. And this dispute here, it starts 2021. 2021. When I know say already the Taliban and they control Afghanistan. America go inside Afghanistan, they think they're able to conquer, overcome, and become victorious. Then go waste their time inside Afghanistan. Then go lost itself inside Afghanistan. Then go pull witch by the white man inside Afghanistan. For that matter, then run away come out inside Afghanistan. And when I want to come out, they left all the armor vehicles them, Humvees them, weapons them inside Afghanistan. If you see a dealership where it gets maybe 200 vehicles them, where multiply to 7 times. 7 times. When I saw the Kaimo to carry away and left inside Afghanistan. What's in the Taliban and pass by America, eh? Then back away immediately, then pull out. Pull out! So when they pull out, they left the Taliban there with small ammunition still. Then be go there for go disarm them people there. Now when I go left them with small arms them. I can wonder if them people there get sense the NATO people there. It don't tell whether they fool we. Now this thing can piss me off. How come them be the fool we? What to me? Now people are not too smart. To me, they're not too smart, but they be the fool the local Africans then. How this happen? I ain't no understand. I ain't no understand it today. Now we continue. So the Taliban then say, Wallahi, no, this water here, not for them. If them test to know against self, no problem. For that matter, self, they arrest one of, Iranians in general. Then detain one of Iranians in general. You know? And make sure say back and pass on the message to the Iranians still. That we are not trying. We are not trying. So what's in the Iranians they need for do? Even though now people in back will like war, then get oil, gold, gas, you know, but this now water issue. Then go for fairway no more for mediate this talk here. They go for fairway no more for mediate this talk here. But if we're not there for mediate this talk here, people then begin die because water no day. Believe me, now what? What would they take for granted? You know? Then get ulti, know, but water no day. You see how we bless inside Saloon? You know, we might still suffer, but we still get with small, basic them. Other countries them, now war. So, now we continue, don't know how to be problems in there inside Saloon. There. China also don't they get ties them with Pakistan. I just want to read that inside quick. They don't also get bilateral ties them with Pakistan. China, they outside. Outside. Now, let me continue. With the upside again, the Iranians them or the Iranians them in Afghanistan, no will go into any conflict. Because if they go into conflict, wallahi, all they envy them way back in Afghanistan where the American man left. When that's if the Taliban and tell the Iranians them. They say if we not test will they match up inside Iran and take over. Now that's then tell the Iranians them. They say if we not test again, will they match inside Iran and take over. The Taliban they're not funny. Well, now we continue on to the next. Kenya, another big news for me, JC them. Especially the African Americans them, we born now the diaspora. We people them. Something good come out from Kenya. Or the Kenyan president, Williams Ruto. Early morning coffee, drink your own. Big up once more. Good morning to now, we're just the Trentals more. All our neighboring countries there. See all around this Mano River, East, West, North Africa as a whole. Africa, we need to liberate this continent. We need to liberate this continent. Now let me continue. Kenya, Williams Ruto, the current president, and make an announcement recently that any black African American or African descent, and no matter which parts of the world you there, you don't need no more visa for go inside Kenya. Before I continue for talk this talk here, now for long as no say, some sense don't begin to come into some African president step. If we don't welcome the African Americans to Africa, we will continue for depreciate. Now a valuable asset. Even if no one can stay, but they will able to invest for develop this continent. Now, this platform what they don't create so, they say you don't need any visa for going inside Kenya. This don't open way for any investment from the African Americans and the diaspora for going invest inside Kenya. Or even the neighboring countries them where they around Kenya. They say you don't need any visa for go inside Kenya for go do business. Very important. What's also Mr. Williams Ruto they discuss or what's they talk of? Also they preach towards the United Africa. Africa for unite. The United Africa. What's he getting killed Gaddafi for? Now in Mr. Williams Ruto, they discussed recently, a few days ago. Now a meeting with some leaders them, African leaders them. You know, we need for get a united Africa. Also, then get a bank where we're going to use an African currency for do all the transactions stuff. This man they preach say, let we avoid the dollar. Because when Africa man want go buy business, for example, you didn't salo, you get your leons, you want go buy business in Guinea. First you got to go change your money to dollar before you go to Guinea for go buy your business. They said that's not make any sense. Now the more we empower the dollar. You know? Now we go to the African banks them and make we payments them which will local currency. I will find out the name of this exact bank here. You know? An African X something. I will find out. You know? So then get a bank in place. Now, if you want to do any transaction in within their own locality, not go change your money to dollar again. No. Just go pay with your own local currency. Now, this African bank, they will make sure say equivalent to the sum of which you try to pay. That money they will go to the person where it's supposed to go to, without doing any transaction with the dollar. This man, they preach against the dollar. Kenya, the president, and they persuade the Africans. This is a persuasion. They totally they persuade the Africans. Them. Let we left the dollar. And we need for begin to do exporting. It also states that Kenya is one of the countries where they export goods. Them. Any country when they export, now they make money. The way how Africa or the Mali Empire used to make money is through trade. Then be used for moving goods them from one locality to another locality. You know, whether or not money they go trade with or other goods then come back with different goods them. Trade. Now we start that system there. So this man they advise the Africans them, we need for starts for do trade. Even if the Americans don't want to buy with products, we can able to do trade among ourselves. We need for begin to become creative and start for export. Now the message that this man they passed on a few days ago. It said also the reason why I make It's not necessary for ask any black man for visa for go inside Kenya. Now listen to this. So this is not history with the talk of Suna. It said because Kenya now the cradle of life, the cradle of mankind. What's all the talk of the cradle? The birth, the beginning, the genesis of evolution of mortal man them. Because history identifies, say, the ancients or the most ancient species we ever found are from Kenya. So now the cradle of Africa or the cradle of the world. So what's this man try to say? If you're not African descent, you don't go far. You don't need for go buy visa or spend your money for come back home. You home, now you home. You're always welcome for come back home. We need to charge you money for come home. You're not going to pay any fee for come home. All we want is come home. Now the message this man they pass on to the Africans all around the globe. Come home. Because Kenya now the cradle of Africa or the cradle of mankind. And your home, you don't need for pay for go there. You don't need permission for going to your house. You don't need permission. Very important talk this man talked this past few days. It kick into me. It ignites me inside me. Blood, it flow, it rush. And things that I want to hear it. Then kind of affiliations there. Because we're not going to it now with people there. And Boku African American descent them, then glad for this news. Boku glad. Because the movements also they take place right now. Boku and they don't tire with the American system or the white manning system. Boku and they, everyday people and they were the pioneer for the cause of black power, black unity, black prosperity, black governance, black business, black banks, black all thing. We don't tire of letting white people there, they dominate we. All the world, they dominate we. And when it comes to common sense, now we are the largest population of the world. No race, no the way past we. No race, no day. But why make now we the suffer with the black stuff? This is very sad for we. They always don't judge the Africans and say we can't for do business, then poor. Not able to sustain business. They're not too experienced, which is a lie because they don't give the Africans the chance for beginning to knock the jackpot. They don't want to mix with inside the arena so we're going to export with goods to them. So the best way they go carry they can use we. They can invest or take, they go create and sell and give it back. We don't tire with this system. We don't tire with this system. So Africa, when I know they rise up, and countries then also like, where they near Djibouti, no need any visa. No need any visa for go. All African, descent, no visa. Djibouti, no visa. And they extend this tier based on, diplomatic ventures them. Then get diplomats them will not require for get a visa for go inside Kenya. And the Kenyan president, I believe, some of them things that ignite her. They say if we get diplomats and they come, they don't require any visa. Why make we not go allow with black African descent to come back without any visa? It makes sense. So big up to that, big up to that. We need for beginning market Africa as a whole. This is not a marketing strategy for develop Africa. Inviting investors them. This is not a move to change the face of Africa again. And this will create more employment for the youth money. As long as we people in the come back and invest, they're able to rescue me and you from this poverty we experience. Because some of them, God don't bless them. So when I know they continue. And for they believe, Boku black Africans them, when they're the diaspora, they're wealthy. But could they play sports? They're into music. Own companies them. Yesterday when I discussed about Tyler Perry. They don't purchase BET and VH1. You know, for 21 years, now white people are owner. Now a black man owner. And this is what they talk of, black ownership. Men then stop for pimp we. Super smart. Over 100, 200, 300, 400 years. How long? How long? Super smart. Now let's continue on to the next. Sudan, I tired for talk of Sudan, but we need for talk of Sudan, yeah? Tired for talk of Sudan. Tired for talk of Sudan. Then the problem no one stop. The problem no one stop. But before we talk of Sudan, another important discussion by a journalist. We'll get a journalist by the name of Anja Sundaram with the Sundaram. He writes something meaningful within the web or the internet, and they make the news lately. I come across this message, I read them, and I also want to share it with you. We're going to make this quick. But I'm going to read them first, for you back, get them. You know? Entitled this message here, why the world deadliest war go unreported. Why the world deadliest wars go unreported. By Creole, why make the world the most deadliest or dangerous wars them? Where they take place, then they report them. And then they report them correctly to we. Now let me continue. What it states, it said, despite the world's technological advances, conflict like the ones in Central African Republic are still shrouded in darkness, and we often don't know the perpetrators, who was attacked or why. The neglect of such war zones is the consequence of an international news system still structured by colonial relationships. Foreign correspondents fly out from global capital such as Washington, D.C. and London, more or less to similar places at similar times to tell us more or less the same story. I want to read this one more time, then I will decipher and explain it. Please listen attentively. Despite the world's technological advances, conflicts like the ones in Central African Republic are still shrouded in darkness, and we often don't know the perpetrators, who was attacked or why. The neglect of such war zones is the consequence of an international news system still structured by colonial relationships. Foreign correspondents fly out from global capitals such as Washington, D.C. and London, more or less to similar places at similar times to tell us more or less the same stories. Now, la decipher in the Creole way. No matter what's in the goal, now the world, with technological advances, the way technology don't they grow. The conflicts like the one where they inside Central Africa Republic, they're still shrouded in darkness. They still keep them in darkness. They hide them in darkness. You know? What are they hide them? We're not going to know. And we often don't know the perpetrators there. While they hide things there in darkness, we still don't know the one the way they commit then crimes there. We go hearing of the war, but we don't know who are they behind the war, who are they support the war, who are they finance the war, etc., etc. We still don't know who are the perpetrators there, or who are they attack, the people there where they become attack, you know, or why did they attack them people there, you know, the perpetrators them. We don't know why make they attack certain groups or people there. We don't know, or why make them they attack. We don't know. The neglect of them war zones there, that means whether they abandon them war zones there, the way how the world they neglect, the war zones there. Now the consequence of an international news system still structured by colonial relationship, this way, this neglects whether they neglect them war zones there. What I say consequence, Now the after effect. The after effect. The bad now or the good now. The consequence of an international news system. International news system still structured by colonial relationship. Or we can just say colonial masters them. Them colonial masters there, now then structure the news where they can meet me and you. So now what thing they want make we know, now we don't know. What thing they want make we know, we not go ever know. And I want make you believe this. What's in BBC go and make we know is about Mali, now we go know. If BBC now make we know, BBC and CNN go tie hand together, they say this information, let not leak and go. Now that's this man, they try for state. You know, their news there, their news system, their international news system, still structured by with colonial relationships them. Foreign correspondents them fly out from global capitals them. Then foreign correspondents there, or they are lagba there, or them big one there, or that one they can show like say and concern about Africa. They come out from big capitals, they like DC and London. For come, and then place there outside the world day. For can investigate. But when they go back, you know, actually before they even go back, at times when they can even come for can investigate, whether they come out DC now, or Europe now, or London now, they can come at almost the same time. At the same places them at the same time. So they can go meet up. When they don't meet up, then discuss, and say, well, this will go talk, and this will not go talk. You know? Well, when they don't go investigate done, you know, the same places at the same time, they will come back and tell me more or less of the same shit. That's how I want to put it, yeah? They will come back and tell me more or less of the same story. Now, what thing they want to tell me, then they will continue for tell me. Now in this man, they try for state. Now, international media system created by the colonial master system. So any area outside world they, not to all the news who supposed to forget what they receive. Now I make this man believe say, some of them war zones there don't become abandoned. You know? Because the truth we don't know. And the one that we can support some conflicts there, or we can create some conflicts there, up till now, we don't know. Like right now, inside Mali, Chad, Sudan, we they see the Sudanese in effect, but the people that were there beyond effect, we don't know. Up so now they understand. We're not going to blame the Africans then for faith, but now would I go satisfy them two people there for faith? You know, now this would they try for state. You know, don't forget say also DRC, you know, the war, the tiggy one with Rwanda, the conflict, you know, they not stop it. DRC and Rwanda. And when I know say Kenya, they support, you know, DRC and Uganda also there with Rwanda, etc. You know, I know I'm going to watch into that detail today. But 11 countries there, now this central, you know, Africa area. 11 countries there, including, we get Central African Republic, that's now one, now a country. I make you know that. Because we can talk of Central Africa Republic, some them just think, say, you know, now the old Central. No, Central Africa Republic, now a country of itself. You know, we get Cameroon, DRC, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Chad, Angola, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, and Sao Tome something, Principe. I'm not able to pronounce that country there, you know, but it sounds Hispanic when I African coast, you know. So about 11 countries there inside this Central Africa, they all experience conflicts there. War they all side. Me the only time where I go pick up weapon for faith war, that what the white man and face kind of foolishness back in Africa, they think they go can't dominate we. Then thanks to they going to call for recruitment. Then so all Africans they for can enlist. Now I mean first it's map na line. And then they fight any civil war against another African. Tasmonomics. And then they fight any tribal war. Tasmonomics. But any war against with colonial masters them, against NATO, now me first they didn't align. Now me first. Frontline soldier. Who don't sacrifice stone. But I don't continue. So this man, he states something important. You know, Ajad Sundaram. You know, big up to you, Sundaram. Big up to you. Anyway, Sudan. I know I even talk about the war. You know, before about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, because when the war starts, first you want me to evaluate that the humanitarian help. I be dealing now say people ain't go for suffer. More than one away trapped inside the city. I discussed that about 3-4 weeks ago. I say right now the war that take place, some they don't flee, some they not able to flee. Some they trapped in the capital city. All the banks then close. People are not able to obtain cash. As long as you're able to get cash, you're not able to buy anything. You know? Then 10 kind of, medical, hospitals them begin to experience what they call shortages them, prescriptions them, medicines them not available to people that we need them. So right now, food not there inside Sudan, the capital. Food not there. Picking they die. Picking they die. About 2 dozen picking they don't die. Young baby them. Based on food and other issues there. About 300 were they rescue. 300 picking them. And the poverty. Well, we're not going to say poverty, but just they need humanitarian help. Massively. Not so just Sudan. Even take go inside Chad. Because the one now where they move, from Sudan or South Sudan or Darfur, they all go to Chad. They need help. Now they're all the refugees that they migrate go to. So South Sudan, the one that they tiggy one, well, Darfur, the one they migrate go to, but it don't enter there now. Darfur back there for their own. Yeah? Darfur they for their own. So I just tired. No food, no medical, no nothing. They need humanitarian help. Same thing with maybe DRC. DRC got for need back humanitarian help. Well, this is what they talk of. What this man be they talk of. They know they talk of the issues there where they take place within the African zone. They are avoid or abandon, their war zones there. Because their humanitarian help there what we need. Then they discuss and go. But every day they're ready for talk of the issue where they go on inside Ukraine. They spend massive money inside Ukraine. NATO, United Nations, they spend massive money inside Ukraine. So now I not too care what's going to take place inside Ukraine. Men kill themselves more inside Ukraine. Because they left free for die and for kill themselves. So if they want inside Europe, they expand, men mash up themselves. Take away Italy, men mash up themselves. If they call with the Africans and back for go help them for first kill themselves, Tasmo go enlist. And they enlist. They welcome the Africans there for join them for go fetch this warrior inside Europe. Pay me advance money first. I left them for me picking them. Me I they go. As long as you don't pay me in advance, I don't left them to me picking them. Me I they go. We'll go fetch inside Europe. Big up to that. When I can run for go inside Europe, now I can things there for go to move you for go inside Europe. Huh? Not to for go, So I understand some they need for go hustle. And I respect that. But I don't know what to do. Frontline soldier, we never miss. Now let's go inside Russia and Ukraine. They want to then get swear. Then let war. Anyway, America don't donated more weapons. And weapons that don't allow Ukraine, the military, for hit long-range targets inside Russia. What's in NATO don't supply the Ukrainians there. Now they're able to target, go maybe inside Russia. Long-range missiles. So they begin short range. Now longer one them. Not too long again. Now longer one them. Longer one where they go far. Now wahala. Wahala. But now it gets serious small. And city of Bayram also don't become targeted. city of Bahrain, or the Bahrainian stem, whatever way you want to put them, about 96 kilometers from the battle line. You know, this city here, about 96 kilometers from the battle line. Also, don't they face the experience of the war. You know, all they talk of experience now, good or bad experience. Now they continue. The port city also don't experience attack. You know, about 4 times from the Ukrainians. The port city. You know, also the Russians, and they suspect a British cruise missile. What the Ukrainians they use for committing strikes there. You know, the Russians then suspect a British, you know, cruise missile. What do they use for attack there? You know, the Ukrainians then plan also for cut off all communications between Crimea and southern Ukraine. They plan for cut off all communications there between Crimea and southern Ukraine. What they talk of communication, it don't mean say for talk na phone. Communications there, routes them, roads them, bridge them. Anything where they get access from Crimea to Russia, you know, they want cut off. So them plan actually for broke one bridge they want them plan for damage. You know, they get one bridge with them plan for damage. So Crimea and South Ukraine. Crimea now, you know, saying access from Russia to Crimea to Ukraine. The Ukrainians don't want that. And what did the Ukrainians then plan? Then plan for retake Crimea. Then plan for take Crimea from the Russians. They are very soon. They say inside this spring, then go take over Crimea. They pull the Russians and commodity. Tiggy one. Russians there will not better ready for run about face turn because Ukraine will make a rain very soon inside spring. I want to see this. Therefore, don't tell me a commentator we can to this war. Just like where you can get commentators then, what football game can play. Therefore, don't turn me to a commentator we can to this war because I like for analyzer, I like for talker. I want to make it continue. Enough it for stop. Maybe they want themselves to go inside Germany, to go inside Italy, to go inside America. I want to see it continue. Enough for stop. The only people that want elect are the Australians, them peaceful. And the Canadians, them, well, them better small. You know, them better small. But now that's swear one day. You know. So Putin they prepare no more, you know, they prepare for this. And a counterattack. Also, you know, I guess I don't discuss about this bridge. And the bridge will then plan for cancellation. This now another access or a bridge will connect Crimea and Russia. You see the problem now? So the bridge will connect Crimea and Russia, then plan for cancel this bridge. Also, any communication road between Crimea and southern Ukraine, then plan for canceling roads there or any communication. You know. Now, before I go on, what's in back another thing with brother Anja Sundaran, which also states, don't forget, when they can abandon their war zones there, what else they can do? Then perpetrators there. They can make sure, say, then communication towers then also become cancelled. You know, like example, if what they take place inside Chad or Mali or whatsoever, certain area, certain regions there, any tower where they around this area, any tower we go leak out information that they cancel and force. So you want make phone call, you not able. You want communicate on the radio, you not able. You want advise people or tell people in the truth, you not able. They can cut off all the things there. You know, then pass on the information where they want pass on. Until then things say they don't get the control where they want, then they allow things back for flow or communication for flow. All this now a crime for the war continue inside Africa. Yeah. All this now a crime. So I cannot too care what's going to take place inside Ukraine and Russia. I don't too care. Many call me biased. You know, I'm not racist. You know what tell me say racist. You know, I'm not tribal force. You know what call me racist. You know, I'm not tribal. So I'm not racist. But at times, you know, the truth they find for talker. And we say we need for knock day. You know? We need for knock day. I'm going inside Europe. And inside Europe I'm going to fight. You know? Me not to jihad because One in our jihadists there, when they're going to immediately talk so right now, they're going to gladdy. Then jihad people there. You don't say anything for Feds Europe, the jihad and the gladdy. You know, the jihadists and the gladdy. So the gladi talks right now, one go inside Russia, Ukraine, the jihadists and say yes, 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 you know. NATO, when I take time, no let Taliban not go inside Ukraine. If Taliban go inside Ukraine, a problem for now. So big up to that, big up to that. Last but not the least, election just stay around the corner in a salon. They are waiting, we don't hear you back at the radio stations them. No, we're not involved picking them, but there with elections there. Election not to picking play. You know, not to picking business. Just like okay talk say my main daddy business, not to picking business, to picking play. You know? So election there, we now we can encourage students there, young teens there, for go on the street, go protest, make noise, dance. Now we stop for going to encourage them picking there for participate. And now we push them for go school, for go learn. Now that's important. They're not supposed for concern about any political conflicts or issue at this moment. They're only supposed for concern about their education and their well-being. You know, that's speaking for focus on, not for politics. And well-being and education, that's paramount. You know, but we want to extend this and pass them on to the parents there. Because if you want a parent, you don't say politician go control you picking for you. Now, whether you foolish or you stupid, or you need to do your job as a parent. You know, you need to do your job as a parent. If you don't tell politician go pull you picking out or control them for you. The later now you say you picking don't die or you picking in a jail. You know? Now you the parents first with the beginning blame. Because now you get swear. You get swear past swear. You know? So big up to now. Good morning once more. Big up to now. We joined Charles this morning. You know, the face of Salon, the face of the green, white, and blue, the face of the people there, you know, aka Bepeko. I hope so when I learn something new. I hope so when I become entertained. I hope so when I go receive the information there in a positive manner and pass them on to the next. Anybody will not get on this morning, invite them, share the content. Let we all learn. When I stay blessed. Good morning once more.